We're always told that winning is the goal, right? But what if I told you that the greatest victory imaginable was actually the most horrifying loss? That's what we're digging into today, with the chilling myth of the Wendigo, how a total win can become the ultimate trap.
So let's just put this question front and center. What if winning was actually the ultimate form of losing? I mean, really achieving everything you set out to do, only to find you've lost it all. That's the paradox we're going to unpack, and it's right at the heart of the Wendigo story.
See, the story of the Wendigo isn't just another monster tale. Nope. It's about a kind of victory that literally eats itself alive. It's the ultimate story of self-defeat, where the prize is the trap.
So what is the Wendigo, really? At its core, it's what you'd call a corrupted archetype. Think of it like a hero story gone horribly wrong. It starts out as the perfect hunter, right? Strong, driven, a total master of survival. But that very drive, that will to live, gets twisted. It warps into this bottomless, insatiable need to destroy absolutely everything, and that includes itself.
Okay, to really get a feel for how this all goes down, let's dive into a story our source material calls the Parable of the Master of the Wasteland. I want you to picture this. This is the final scene, the absolute climax of the Wendigo's long, hungry journey.
So there it is, the predator, standing on the highest peak imaginable. It's done it. It's achieved its goal. Every single rival is gone. Every last resource in the land has been consumed, and from its point of view, this is it. This is total, absolute victory.
And what's the prize for all this? Well, it believes it's now the most powerful thing in existence. It is just filled with this monstrous, insatiable power. Nothing can match it. Nothing can challenge it. It has won. But here's the twist. There's a terrible curse hidden inside this so-called victory. You see, the Wendigo's body grows in proportion to everything it eats, so its own physical form becomes this massive, grotesque monument to its hunger, so huge that it literally towers over the clouds. It's a prisoner in a body that's too big to even interact with the world it just conquered. And this is the moment it all comes crashing down. It looks down from its incredible height, from its peak of power, and what does it see? Nothing. Just a barren, silent world, a wasteland. And it hits the creature. Every single success, every single hunt was just another step toward creating this absolute emptiness.
So you got to ask, how does any journey end up like this? How do you win so hard that you lose everything? To get it, we've got to look at the broken, flawed logic that's driving this whole thing.
It all starts with something that sounds pretty natural, right? A will to power. You know, the drive to grow, to get better, to achieve some mastery. But for the Wendigo, that gets corrupted. It becomes a will to consume. And that's a whole different beast. Power isn't about mastering the world anymore. It's just about devouring it. And, well, you can't be the master of something that you've already eaten.
This is a classic Faustian bargain, if you've ever heard the term. To survive, to get that power, the creature commits the ultimate taboo. It trades away its soul, its very essence, its connection to everything, all for the short-term win of survival. And in making that deal, it completely seals its own fate.
And the engine driving all of this is what we can call corrupted logic. The thinking goes something like this. To be stronger, I have to consume more. I mean, on the surface, that kind of makes sense, right? But when you follow that logic all the way to the end, the very act of doing it destroys the whole point. The more you win by consuming, the more you are fundamentally, absolutely losing.
So that brings us to the end game, the aftermath. What does this kingdom, this prize that was won through such a twisted victory, actually look like?
And here's the paradox laid bare. The Wendigo's power? It's absolute, 100%. But the world it gets to rule over? It's gone. Zero. It's the king of an empty room, the ruler of a graveyard that it built itself.
So, what is it in the end? It's just a hollow shell. It's the master of absolutely nothing. It's trapped in a void that it piece by piece created for itself. The very strength that got it here is now just a heavy chain tying it to this dead world. It chased that infinite horizon of hunger, only to run smack into a dead end.
You know, to really bring this all home, our source material ends with this incredibly powerful metaphor. It really just captures the whole idea perfectly. It's called the fire for one night.
Just let this image sink in for a second. Winning like a Wendigo? It's like burning down your own house just to keep warm for a single night. Think about that. It's this desperate, totally short-sighted act where you mistake your own destruction for some kind of salvation.
And that's the final chilling truth of it all, isn't it? For that one brief moment, yeah, there's this blinding heat, a feeling of power, a feeling that you've survived. But then, when that fire of consumption finally burns out, you wake up in the morning and you're just left in the cold, surrounded by the ashes of everything you used to have. You literally have nowhere left to live.
So this whole story, this parable, it suddenly feels a lot bigger than just an old myth, doesn't it? It leaves us with a really critical question to chew on. In a world with limited resources, what does chasing an infinite horizon even mean? What are we really doing when we chase endless growth, endless consumption?